What's up, y'all? Welcome back to my channel. And in today's video, I'm going to be attempting a new style of photography called the Brenizer method or the Brenizer technique. This method involves you taking a picture of your subject. Typically, you want to do this with portraits. Today's subject is going to be me, self-portraits. And then once you get that picture, you take a bunch of images of the surrounding area. So that way you can import them into Photoshop or Lightroom and stitch them all together to create this massive piece that retains a lot of the quality in the picture. And you can do this with a higher focal length lens, like an 85 mil or higher. That way you're getting a lot of quality in the subject, but also the quality in the background. It looks really amazing once it's done correctly. And I want to try this out because I feel like I could have a lot of use for something like this in some of my future projects. So today is the trial and error phase just to figure it out before I try to execute that on a real photo shoot. This isn't my first time attempting this. I was out here a few days ago. It was raining, it was windy, and the images just did not come out the way I expected. They couldn't even compile in Photoshop or Lightroom. I think I understand maybe why. Three factors. One, when you're attempting the Brenizer method, the background needs to stay consistent. It needs to stay still. The other night it was windy, so the cherry blossoms, them moving just a little bit, or even with a few big gusts of wind, that could have caused, the issue with it stitching those photos together. The other option is the rain. I don't know if my camera caught some of the rain specks, but if it did, then having different, spots of rain and just things like that would probably cause issues with it. The last final reason was the fact that me as a subject, I was only in one of those pictures, even though the center picture, but as I took the surrounding pictures, you could still see part of that center picture, and I was missing from that. And so maybe that caused, threw a wrench into the plans. So today I have some other workarounds. Hopefully we can figure it out, but I'm going to take you guys through this process, show you the behind the scenes of it, and how I struggle or succeed. So let me get my equipment set up, and there's a fly on my light. Okay, let me get my equipment set up, and I'll take you guys through this process. Okay, hopefully you can see me in this shot. I got my camera set up, and we're gonna try the first shot. Probably might see me do this a couple times because I got to do this in manual focus. That way, everything stays consistent. But also, since I'm not using my phone to do the remote camera, I have to set a 10-second timer, and it's just gonna be a lot of back and forth, a lot of trial and error. But let's go. And I don't even know what to do with my first pose, but we just need to get to focus. Terrible. Terrible. Okay, that was terrible because I need to duck for it to even be seen. So that looks right. Okay, focus needs to be pushed back a little bit. Just like this. Oh, I think we got the shot. Now I just need to pose. I think we got the shot. Not quite. Not quite. Not quite. I need to face this way. Maybe like this. I gotta like, model frames. Teach me how to model. Okay, I remembered one thing about the Brenizer. I need to tighten up the shot. My shots, honestly, were a little bit too wide. So I just brought the camera a little bit closer That way I can punch in on myself, and then with the other shots I can fill in the gaps, as opposed to taking. I mean, maybe the wide shots might work too, but at least one of the videos I saw, they said you really want to try and fill up your first shot with the subject, and then all the other shots will stitch. So let's see what that looks like. In case you're wondering, yes, I'm cold. So this shot, first of all, I switched to my 85 mil. And this shot, I want to get from a higher vantage. Since if I can shoot with these cherry blossoms a little bit in the foreground, I think that'd be really dope. I mean, maybe not using the Brenizer effect. Maybe I'll just take a standard self-portrait. But this might be really cool. And look, it's pretty hot. That's how I feel in the mirror. Well, if I manage to pull this off for the Brenizer, getting the surrounding shot would be really difficult. I'll go f2.0. Jesus, I'm too short. Oh, what? That up there with the building and the chair, that would be a cool. Oh, I'm about to get that. Oh, this thing is hot. This is going to be difficult. Let's just see if I can even get myself. Oh, so good. Okay, let me try that. Yeah, aesthetics. It's close. I need to step. I need to step back. Well, maybe 4. Let's try that. Okay, I changed camera angle so you can see a little bit more of the buffoonery. Uh, but getting the focus a little bit more difficult with this one. Because it's an 85 mil and because the aperture goes down to 1.4. I'm currently at f2, but still the depth of field is super shallow. It's like a sliver. I'm trying to get my face in that sliver. Um, I can go up a little bit higher, but it doesn't increase that much more. Worst case scenario, if I can't get this focus, I'll just have to stop pixel cam and then at least use my camera to at least establish the focus. I'll still keep it in manual focus, but I'll be able to see if I can step into the focus or not. But let me give a few more attempts with this. Okay, here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna set a marker first. Okay, that last shot's pretty cool. I don't know if I feel like I need to punch in a little bit more, like push the camera closer, because again, me in the picture, it's still kind of a wide shot, and I want it to be more punched in on me. What to do? What to do? Self-portrait, self-portrait. This is true behind the scenes. This is how much time it takes to do self-portrait, especially when you're trying something new and you don't have the use of your, you know, app and remote trigger. All right, that wraps up the shoot. As you can't tell, I'm freezing my ass off. Hopefully the pictures came out well. Only one way to find out. I'm gonna go home and get this thing going. But yeah, this is the process. You got to put in this time and effort to figure this shit out, and I just hope it pays off. I really do. If not, I'll be out here another night. But I'll see you guys when I get back. All right, y'all. Welcome back to my spot. And guess what? It worked. Yeah, we did it. So I just want to show you guys the process on how to compile all the images for the Brenizer effect. What you'll do, I couldn't do it in Lightroom, but Photoshop worked for me. So you're supposed to be able to do it in both. Maybe just the type of images I had wasn't compatible with Lightroom, or Photoshop might just be a little bit better because it is really that go-to for photo manipulation. But yeah, and also I'm not in my loft. Sometimes it gets a little hot up there. So right now we're downstairs in my living room. But let me pull up my screen recorder and get you guys going. Okay, so here in Photoshop, at the main menu, first of all, you want to go File, Automate, and then Photo Merge. So that's going to bring up, this process takes a while, but I'm not going to show you all that. But let me find the pictures. We're going to start off with the second one first. I think the second one was the cooler one. So these are my poses right here. That's the good one. And then we'll go all the way to this one where I shift all those and then delete my 2 smoking failures and then hit OK. Now you can see all the files here. You don't need to change any of the settings, or at least I didn't. I just left it on layout for auto and blend images together, and I hit OK. So now we're gonna let the computer do its thing. As you can see, it's like spazzing out, but eventually in the layers tab, you'll see all the images line up. But yeah, we're gonna let it do its thing and come back whenever it's done. And after a few minutes and a round of Pokemon Pocket, we are done. So look at this thing. Well, this thing is beautiful. I mean, look at that shot. Oh God, this is why I love photography. So we've got all the pictures. As you can see, they're all individually masked out and layered over here, which is just amazing. But you'll notice something is missing, something that should be there, something important. I'm not in the image. So I guess that confirms my theory that because I was only in the picture once, it wasn't enough for Photoshop to like deem that I'm supposed to be in that image, and it kind of just it put the picture in there, but it just completely masked it out. So what we're gonna do is select that picture, and we're just gonna bring myself back. So let me get my brush tool. We're already set max opacity, and I should be right over here. And yeah, we're just gonna bring myself back, paint myself back into the mix, make sure we're not, oh, I guess, yep, shadow a little bit. Actually, when I first did this, I don't know if I brought back the shadow, so I might have to retouch that up. But okay, perfect, perfect. So now we have our image. Beautiful, beautiful. And it's not even edited yet. One thing I noticed when I was looking at the image, I don't know if you can tell from this far back, and if I zoom in, it kind of goes away. Right here. You see this line here, and then you got this line here. It's like stitching. So it literally, it's like a ripped up picture, and it just stitched all the pieces together. But that goes away. I mean, it's technically not there. I guess it just shows you the outer limits of each picture. But what we're gonna do now, if you're more adept with editing and Photoshop, I guess you could just group all the images and then start applying new layers. But I'm not that great with it. I'm just more comfortable in Lightroom or with a Lightroom style. So I'm going to just shift all these and I'm going to merge the layers. From here, you can crop as well. I already did my crop for, like I said, I already edited this image. I did a 1x1 square crop, but I mean, you can do a 4x5 for, if you're going to be posting this on Instagram or whatever the case. So if I were to do this, bring this down, I want to make sure I get, those bottom bushes, and then bring this back up. And then maybe not so much center myself, but get some of that. So I can go like that. I could center myself and bring that tree in there. So there's a lot of different ways you can do this. And then even if you were to go outside, and capture some of these white areas, you can just use the generative fill, and those little spots, yeah, it should look pretty nice. But now this crop, we want to get, actually, that's why I went with a square crop. So let me show you why. No. I want the square crop because then I can get, why can't I can get all that up there, these trees. You see that? Oof. We'll bring this a little bit over. Okay. Yeah, that right there is probably what I want. Put me on the thirds. Bring that in just so. And then okay, we'll go like that. And then we'll go over. Yeah, we'll go something like that. Just for now. This isn't the original way that I had it, but we'll crop that. Bam. There's our image. And then from here, I just do camera raw. Now I'm not gonna do all the edits, I guess. So when you do import it into camera raw, it's gonna show uncropped. But yeah, you can make your adjustments here. Again, I'm not gonna do, I guess, the edits that I did. I'll just show you the picture that I have. But I mean, as you can tell, like it doesn't need much, and it's already looking like pretty good, pretty amazing. If you ask me. I'll definitely need to apply some individual masks just to maybe brighten myself up a little bit. The beard and the hair looks a little bit darker. We'll see what we can do with that. Maybe tone down some of the blues in the background so it's not too cold. And then I've got to mask out my light in my suitcase, which I've already done. But let me show you guys my images that I've already done. I guess I got to mask back my shadows. So let me take care of that real quick. I'm gonna cancel. Boop, boop. Okay, so the edits are done now. It was bothering me not having my shadows. Just a little thing, especially if I'm gonna post it or somewhere. So edits are done, and now just I guess just show you guys the pictures. So I'll jump off the screen real quick and let you guys see the images. All right, here we are. Look at these bad boys. Okay, so this is the first one. This was the second shot, I guess, if you will. And look, it's stunning. It's stunning. And then I didn't get to show you guys, but here's the second one as well. Oh boy, I love this. I am so excited to use this effect for future photo shoots. Like things that I have planned. This style is just so complimentary to things that I had. Foreshadowing, I'm trying to get back into my Tokyo Ghoul pictures, and I want to create another massive, like big, awesome, like poster centerpiece type thing. Those of you who saw my first one, I'm trying to recreate things like this. And I think this method is going to enhance that like so much more. But that's the end of the video. I hope you guys learned something. Hope you enjoyed it. If you have any questions about, any of the methods or anything like that, drop them in the comments. If you have any feedback, any critique for me as a photographer, or editing, anything, just drop it in the comments, fill it up, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.